morning. Let's see if I can get through this without one of my children calling me today. It's kind of a long one, but I'm excited to have the notes so that I can see what I'm doing and do it correctly. What is it doing? It's being weird right now. Okay, there we go. This is my weekly weigh-in. I'm down to 235 pounds. I know, 235 pounds. I had one lady ask me last week, how tall are you? And I'm 5'7". And the lowest I've ever gotten down to is 182. And I was only there for a couple days. And that was on the HCG diet when I was doing it full nonstop. Anyways, that put me at a size 10. But at 5'7", it's all relevant. Anyways, I've lost about 5 pounds this week. I finally dialed in my diet and I think I've gotten it. That puts me at a total of, 30 pounds lost total. Holy cow, no wonder I'm feeling the difference. I've been able to eat pretty healthy since we haven't had a lot going on this week. One more week and I go back to school and I'm not looking forward to that, but it'll be okay. I'm finding out that if I start to feel hungry, I need to make a tea or drink some water and it passes. It's not necessarily hunger, it might be thirst because I am very dehydrated for some reason. I don't know why. This week's been kind of tough. Our youngest son came home for Christmas break from Texas and he was here for a week and he's been gone since September. But putting him back on a plane, I'm going to try and not cry again. It was really hard for this mom heart. Talking on the phone's great, but I like my kid hugs. So I got lots of hugs this week, but it was really, really hard to put him back on the plane. It was hard that day. We're about half an hour from the airport. I cried all the way home. Got to our city and I'm like, okay, I made it. I think I'm done. And then it started all over again. I'm like, why am I crying like this? This is just ridiculous. But it was because I hadn't eaten anything and I was hungry. But I really knew that if I ate in that moment, I would eat bad. So I opted to not eat. And I chose to fast until he got home. Then when I knew that I would be more in control of my choices if it wasn't emotional. Living in that emptiness was rough because my heart was empty. My belly was empty. But I wish I would have, now hindsight, gotten a plane ticket and flown home with him. And then I would get to go see my grandbabies because it's always easy for me to leave them and come home to my husband, who I absolutely love and adore. But it's really hard for me to say goodbye to them, not knowing when exactly I will see them next. I have resolved that since then, but yes. Anyways, on to a better thing. So I made a good choice and I did well, and that's what enabled me to lose the weight this week. I have my pea coat that I got, 15 years ago, back when I was doing HCG and I was at my smallest weight. It was actually too big on me. I believe it's a size large, but I haven't been able to wear it for many years. I wore it when I was in New York in 2019, I think it was 2019, when we went to the Macy's Day Parade with my son. And I love that jacket. But at that point, I was one of my smallest weights, so it actually was loose on me, and I could put a hoodie underneath it. I put it on now, and I can put it on and I can button it, but my shoulders are too tight, so I still have some weight to lose. I'll try it on next week and see how it fits. But I was down in my 180s, 190s when I was wearing that. I can't wait till I can wear it all the time. Hopefully I'll get to wear it this winter, which obviously I will be because I'm losing the weight now. But when I get done in next year, he's going to have to buy me a new one because I love my pea coat. This week brought a lot of emotions and some old childhood stuff. And I don't go to therapy. I probably should go to therapy, but I'm in that X generation and we don't do therapy. We do suck it up and put your big girl panties on and, that kind of stuff. So I cope with things pretty well. I used to cope with them by eating food, but now I've learned to talk about them. I talk about them with a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine. I talk about some other things with my children. A lot of it I don't. They are adult children, so it's not like they're little kids. I talk about a lot with my husband. He's heard it all. So I just want to put it out there because something was validated this last week that I suspected. Anyways, I always blamed my mom for keeping me fat as a child because every time I would decide to go on a diet and try to lose weight so that I wouldn't look fat and be called names like thunder thighs and hippo hips and made fun of by all the boys, she would make garbage food like cookies and zucchini bread and fudge and crap in the middle of summer. It's like, what are you doing? And it would sabotage me and I would cave and then the diet would be over. Evidently, they told this person who I trust completely that they were keeping me chubby or fat, as I referred to myself, to keep the boys away. So in order to keep me from ever having to make any kind of decision on my own about my life and relationships, they just chose to keep me fat. Because no boy would want a fat girl because all the girls in my school were skinny except for me. Looking back, I was not that fat, but I was fat enough that wasn't even an option. I did have a lot of friends and I had some great friends. I had a couple amazing friends through high school that absolutely are the reason I was able to stay out of trouble. I had some friends that got me into trouble, but neither of those things had anything to do with my weight. The fact that I had no social relationships or social life had everything to do with my weight. I was so beaten down and damaged that my self-esteem was gone. I had no self-esteem. If I were who I am now as a child, I would have been a force to be reckoned with. It would be so different. But I'm not. And I went through those things to become who I am today. All my past made me who I am today. All my past created the person who I am, the strong-willed person that I am today. Anyways, let me get back to my notes. Even as an adult, I was focused on weight loss. My mom would show up with garbage food and she'd be like, oh, it's for the kids because I know you're not eating. But it was always my favorite things. My kids told me that at one point they asked or they mentioned that they thought I might be on drugs or meth or something because I was losing weight so fast. And I was losing weight rapidly because I was on HCG and I was following the diet and I was following it like clockwork. I did Weight Watchers and I lost weight. I did the South Beach diet and I lost weight. But the HCG, I lost the weight and it was like, holy cow, I lost 100 pounds and it was done. I didn't lose 100 pounds. I lost 82 pounds. That's what it was. I was 182 and it was 82 pounds. Anyways, but to say that to your grandkids, that was a lot. I was injecting my HCG. I had prescription strength HCG that was injectable. I did not ever let them see me doing that. They knew I was dieting. I didn't hide that from them. They watched what I was eating and I was eating like a bird because 500 calories a meal. That's it. Twice a day. I was losing weight. However, at some point in time, my dad decided that he wanted to get under 200 pounds so he could go on a donkey ride to the Grand Canyon. And he decided that his way of losing weight was going to be eating the little grapefruit cups from Costco. They come in a big box. He'd eat one of those each meal or whatever and drink water. His gut biome was so destroyed by the time he was successful with his weight loss and he looked so emaciated. He gained all that weight back as soon as he got home and then some. And it took a while for him to get back down to his healthy weight. But it's just like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something that is sustainable and keep me going. I don't have people in my life right now that are those kind of hindrances. My parents don't even live in the same state with me anymore, and I probably won't even see them for the next couple years. So maybe not. I talk to them. Our relationship is odd. Anyways, the people I have around me are more positive. and they want to see me succeed. They want to see me get healthy because they know just how sick I am and how my body is destroyed. It's so much nicer to be able to share what I'm doing and not have people questioning my sanity, or that I'm hurting myself, or that I have an eating disorder, or I'm starving, or all those things. Honestly, I'm so messed up right now that nothing can really hurt me more than staying the same and doing nothing. People do judge me, and some of them even criticize my methods, but they are the ones that are following the doctor's diabetic diet and getting worse and worse. I'm learning to ignore and just keep going and doing what is best for me. And maybe, just maybe, they'll see how it changes my life and might want to make the changes for themselves. Terry was being awesome and helpful, and I love him to pieces. He goes, I just sent you an email. I'm like, okay. He goes, it's an article. You should read it. It's really cool. So I open it. He goes, before I even get a chance to read it, he goes, it's a weekly food plan for inflammation, to get your inflammation down, and for diabetes. And I'm like, oh, cool. Is it like the government's diabetes, the government's inflammation, or is it like a real one? He goes, oh, I don't know. I didn't look at that. I pulled it up. The daily carb intake. Okay, wait. First, breakfast was a banana and oatmeal. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. Second, the lunch was yogurt and granola. And I'm like, oh, those are no-nos. All 4 of those things are no-no foods. 165 to 168 grams of carbs per day. I would be a shaking, angry mess because that much sugar makes me just jittery. It doesn't keep me full. I would be hungry within like 10 minutes after eating it. It was 3 meals a day and 3 snacks. Nonstop eating. Nonstop. So instead of when you eat, your glucose goes up and then it comes down and then your body burns it off. When you eat and snack and it's all high, it's like whoop, whoop, whoop. It stays up here instead of getting that downtime. So the way I'm eating right now is I eat in the morning and it's protein, so it comes right back down. And then I'm done until the next day when I eat again. I mean, I might eat breakfast and then eat lunch and then I'm done. But I have not been eating dinner. Except for yesterday, I did eat dinner. It was really good though. But it's sad to me that the medical community is telling people with diabetes to go ahead and eat those foods and you'll get better. But you're not going to get better. You're just going to stay in that state of ick with the glucose being a problem. It just infuriates me. And I don't know what to say other than it just really upsets me. So I counted up and my carbs for yesterday were 24. That was 3 meals. I was pretty proud of myself. I cooked all my food. 24 carbs. And then, my diabetic friends, you can't live on 24 carbs. Your brain needs carbs to function. I'm like, okay. Because I was eating 500 calories a day and I was fine. I got 14 days on just water and I was fine. I've gone 12 days on nothing but air and I was fine. You can't live without water. Well, your body, this sweet, chunky, fluffy body has so much water in it. Your body is amazing and it breaks down those cells and it sucks that water out of all those cells. You will not die. You may die. There's a disclaimer at the end. It's. I have nothing nice to say. I'm not going to say it at all. Do your research for yourself. Don't let a doctor treat you. Find a doctor that wants to cure you because diabetes, type 2 diabetes is curable and I'm going to prove it. Okay, new subject, kind of. This week was good because it was a recovery week. It's been good. I've gotten a lot of rest. I worked on trying to catch up some sleep because when my child is home, I lay awake and wait till he comes home at night because I worry about what he's doing, who he's with, and he's going to get in trouble. So I don't sleep until he gets home. And by midnight, if I'm not asleep by midnight, I am not sleeping that night. So then I'm up at 2 and 4 and 5, and I might as well just get out of bed because it's just ridiculous. So I try to catch up on some of my sleep. I feel like I'm ready to go, going back to school and being successful there. It's a lot more stress. It's a lot more intense. It's a lot more exertion, but I think I can do it. I worked on some of the nutrition facts for the recipes that I've been putting in my low carb, no carb cookbook. That's been fun. I'm learning a lot about the foods that are low carb and how to work with them and make some amazing meals that are similar to the garbage food that I used to eat. I worked on our budget to make traveling possible. I've got a vlog coming up about my bucket list because I really want to update everybody on my bucket list because it's like, well, that's the name of your channel, but what's your bucket list? Number one, my bucket list is losing weight. So that's why I'm focused on it first. It's the top priority. I worked on painting some up in the upstairs rooms to fix all the patch jobs. My son had left, like, I don't know, it looked like a machine gun had taken over this one wall. Some of the holes were this big. I fixed all the holes. I patched all the holes. I haven't painted his room yet, but it's patched at least. So the rooms are painted, kind of. My eldest lived with us for about a year, and he was a mechanic, and so there's grease all over everything. He decided to hang up those lovely LED lights around the top of his bedroom, but he did it with greasy fingers, so there's greasy handprints on the wall as he's holding himself up. And then when they moved to Texas, he just pulled them down, so there's black foam sticky tape stuff all the way around, like half of the foam stuff, like the sticky stuff stuck to the wall, the foam stuff. Anyways, it's gonna I'll pull off what I can, but it's gonna get painted over essentially. Anyway, so I painted the one wall that we patched because when we moved here, right up there where that American flag is, there was like an open, I don't know, it was the weirdest design in the world, but we closed it in 2 years ago and we finished this side of it because it's where everybody sees, and that was the guest room, and only people went in that room were my kids. And so I did the texturing to it last weekend, and then I painted it yesterday, I think it was, but that just wore me out completely. It looks way better. It's just white, but I want to do something fun in that room. So we have 2 bedrooms upstairs. The one, I know he's gone to college and he may never live with us again, but he will come home at Christmas. It's still going to be his room. It's our youngest room. It's going to be called his room, and I don't know. We'll see. It's probably always going to be his room. The other room is the plant room. No, it's not like a greenhouse, but it's going to have some big plants in it. My other kids stay in that room. Both my son and my daughter have spent time in that room with their families. I think I'm going to paint it a green, not like green like grass, but like a light green to accentuate the plants. I was going to paint a Monstera mural, like a jungle mural on the wall. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now or if I'm going to actually do pictures on canvas. It's probably cheaper if I paint it. We'll see what happens. But a light green, and that will bring out the accent of the plant. I might just do one wall is a focal wall. Not sure. Anyways, I have to limit how many plants I put in there because I don't want anything that's going to poison my grandkids. And I also don't want them damaging my plants. Grandkids first, not the plants, but the plants are a priority too. So it's bright in there and there's beautiful natural light, but I want it to look like a really nice guest room when they come and visit. So I've got some more work to do, but I'll get there. But all that aside, it's been a good week. Happy to finally be losing weight at a steady pace of about 0.5 pound, 3/4 pound a week. So it's nice. It's a good thing. But anyways. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate the time that you spent listening to me ramble on and keeping up with my posts and my life and my journey to achieve my bucket list. Just for whatever it's worth, I just want to make a statement that everything in these videos is just my life experience. I am not a doctor or a nutritionist. I am not certified in anything. I might be certifiable, but I am in the process of my journey, and I'm sharing my journey with you. If you learn something that you like, do your own research, make your own goals, set your own standards. This is just what I'm doing. So I'm not telling you to do it. I get my information from a variety of doctors and studies and people, and I tend to not listen to my doctor, and I am not advising that to anybody. Doctors go to school to learn things. Most of them actually know what they're talking about. But if you don't agree with your doctor, take the time to learn for yourself, do the research. Anyways, here's to a healthier, happier you and me. Let's do this.